guys, it's Britt. Today we're here with a Lauren the Mortician update. This is going to be a lengthy update, but I think that it's important in all fairness as I'm consuming this to bring to you guys updates from all sides. And Lauren has chosen to go ahead and address this on her TikTok. So we're going to give her the floor and hear what she has to say. But if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright guys, so this video as of right now has 1.2 million views, but it has 89,000 likes, which I always find that to be a little interesting just from an analytical side of things. But it has 8,200 comments, and many of the comments are strictly just disagreeing with Lauren. A lot of people are simply just telling Lauren that she used the police inappropriately in this situation, because in this video, as you will hear, Lauren fully admits that she did call in a wellness check on Kitty, and that's just something that you don't do. I don't care. I've come across some weird things during my time on the internet, and I've never once thought, that person is number one doing or saying something that I wouldn't say or do. It might be a little weird. It might be a little, something that is not making sense to me. I don't know. Like, I've come across my fair share of people that are nothing like me and showing that they're different personality wise. And I don't know. I just don't think that you call the police. And at the end of the day, she called the police to do this wellness check because Kitty was making content sharing her opinion of Lauren, who at the end of the day is a public figure. But either way, I don't want to get ahead of myself, so let's listen to what Lauren had to say. This video is about 7 minutes long.
Hi. I called in a wellness check on another creator, and I wanted to talk to you about that, but I need you to understand that there are certain things that I cannot legally talk about. It's not because I don't want to talk about them. I would love to, but I just legally cannot. The amount of people putting my face on blast and making multiple part videos that are lies about me is just ridiculous. Of everyone thinking they're going to one up the other and expose me on something that I did. So I'm just going to expose myself and just tell you what I did and why I did it. But first, I'm going to tell you a little backstory.
Okay, so starting at the top, I totally understand that sometimes, things that you want to say, maybe you can't say. So I do understand that side of it. But she immediately goes into people using her face, using her image to lie and defame and all of this kind of stuff. I want to, at the top of this video, just remind people that defamation is lying. So being defamatory and lying, those two definitions or those two words, they are defined by the same thing. If you're being defamatory, it means that you're lying. And like I've always said, there is no reason for most people to come on the internet and lie. Am I saying that it doesn't happen? Absolutely not, because it happens often, more often than it should. But from my seat of somebody who has consumed a lot of this commentary about Lauren, it's people either disagreeing with her, disagreeing with messages that she has put out herself, raising concern about some of the other content that she is promoting by liking and following other creators, and having a discussion about that. This all started because she wanted to call Jamie Grayson, who is a child safety expert, a creepy man because he had strollers in his home, even though that is part of his job, because he literally reviews child safety products because he is licensed to do so, and he happens to make content about it. this is not something where people just all of a sudden one day decided that we hate Lauren and we're going to make up a bunch of lies and use her face to build our own social media. That's not what this is. It really kind of pisses me off that she's using this narrative and continuing to repeat it, and followers are believing her. This is not just bored people who started a hate campaign. These are people who saw what she did to Jamie Grayson and then also not only made that post about him, but then went on Bunny's podcast and repeated that, you know, there's something wrong with him, and oh, we're moms and we're not going to listen to someone who doesn't have kids, even if they're certified. That's why all of this started. And once she was under the microscope, people like Kitty went ahead and dug into, okay, well, what is she all about? And the things that she was liking and following. And, you know, if you're liking and commenting on dangerous posts that are spreading a dangerous narrative, then you are actively supporting that dangerous message and those dangerous creators. And I just think that it's worth people's opinion. If they don't like it, they're allowed to call it out. But let's keep going.
I have been dealing with online stalking, bullying, and harassment consistently for the last 2 months. It has not stopped. It is to the level that the normal person would probably unalive themselves with the amount of shit I have been through. My address was leaked. My real name, along with my funeral director license, was all put on blast and put out to the world to see. Well, the funeral director license was up. And then when people realized that I have actually been doing this for longer than they thought, it was taken down. I had to have cops come to my house the other day to take a report. Like, this has all escalated to a point that is beyond.
Okay, so number one, let's just address the obvious. I never agree with bullying or harassing or anything like that. Never have, never will. But I think that most of us are on the same page of we can not like something and have a conversation about it. And that doesn't mean that we automatically support somebody being harassed or stalked, because nobody wants that for anybody. I don't care. You know, most of us can dislike somebody and disapprove of what they are doing, but still say, well, they shouldn't be stalked or harassed. Let's just have a conversation about it on the platform or platforms that it's happening on. Let's just keep things online. I really don't like this tactic that she's using of saying that she's not like the average person, because the average person would have harmed themselves because of what she has been through. So if you think that having your safety put at risk and having to have cops come to your house and worry about your safety and all of this kind of stuff, how does that make it okay that you did that to Kitty? Because if you are worried about, you know, your own safety, then what is that doing sending any of that energy to Kitty? She obviously said that to make a point to her followers of this is how serious things are. They are so bad that if it was anybody else but me, they would not make it through this, and that's how bad things are for me right now. And like I said, I can have sympathy and hold space for not wanting somebody to have to go through harassment or bullying online. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that people just aren't allowed to have an opinion about it, because opinions should be able to be shared because you are a public figure. Unfortunately, I've heard this song and dance from other creators, and sometimes, not all the time, and I'm not saying that's what is happening here with Lauren, but I do feel like sometimes things are blown out of proportion. It is a constant mentality, and at the end of the day, look at the things that Lauren has actively participated in simply because somebody said, I don't like Lauren, I think that she is this way, and I'm going to show you the receipts to prove why I have that opinion. This all started because Lauren wanted to call a man who reviews products and is certified to review child safety products a creepy pervert publicly. And she not only said it on Facebook, she also said it on Bunny's podcast.
Reason. And this all began over a campaign to get me canceled over some dumb shit that I liked on Instagram. I'm not a TERF. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. I am none of those things. I follow left and right creators. I can even like something if I don't agree with it. And I mean, shit, if you're a mutual with me, I've probably liked your content because I saw your face, I like you, wanted to support you, didn't watch your video, didn't read it. Sorry, when I'm doom scrolling, I'm doom scrolling. The bullying and harassment towards me has not stopped these last 2 months. If anything, it's getting worse because people are wanting me to come out and admit things about myself that are not true, and I will not do it. I have not attacked any smaller creators. I was sent an email that told me that if
doom scrolling and liking a post that you might not listen to all of the post and then you like it, or, you know, whatever, is different than actively leaving comments on posts that are spreading a hateful message towards a marginalized community. Those are two completely different things. And the comments of support that Lauren was leaving on some of these creators that are participating in spreading this really hateful message towards marginalized communities, that's what people were focused on. People that I saw, at least, they weren't saying, oh, Lauren liked this one post and it was a little weird, and, you know, like that. I think could be okay, maybe she was doom scrolling, but we're talking about actively leaving comments and being a full participant in some of these creators' content, not just doom scrolling and maybe liking a post that is a little odd.
If I did not own up to being more defamatory content was going to be made about me to continue this hate campaign, to purposefully hurt my reputation. And I can tell you right now that this person was not a fan of mine. Nowhere in that email did I ever get the understanding that they even liked me. Immediately sent this email to Jeanette, my lawyer.
Okay, that's where we need to take an intermission and we need to read that email, because this is where Lauren is not being fair. Okay, I'm going to let Becca Day read that email that was actually sent to Lauren so that you guys can hear what was actually sent versus what Lauren is trying to make people think was sent, because it's two completely different things. She wants this to fall into the blackmail category when all that this was a concerned follower who was seeing some red flags exhibited by Lauren, and she was simply saying, I think that you as a public figure should address these things head on, because if you address them and take accountability now, then there will be less future content, less negative content in the future that is made using your name. And all of this can be put to rest because, as we always talk about, if you take accountability within a reasonable amount of time, then you can move on with your content. But this blocking and deleting and sending C&Ds and working with a weird attorney and trying to make yourself the victim, even though you're sending wellness checks and saying that you are being extorted and blackmailed, is just a really, really bad take. And I feel for this person, because this is not somebody who ever made content about Lauren. This is not a public figure. This is not somebody who has chimed in on the conversation. This is simply somebody who liked Lauren, supported her, and saw some problematic things and decided to send this email to Lauren. And Lauren wants everybody to think that she is in all of this. So I will insert Becca reading that email, and then we'll hop back and hear what else Lauren had to say, because at this point she is misleading her audience.
But since that video has come out, I have been given permission to read the original email that Lauren was sent by one of her former fans, simply to prove that there was no kind of blackmail, extortion, threats, anything like that in the email. That was simply not true. This was literally someone who watched Lauren and was a fan of Lauren for a very long time and went straight to the source, emailed a public email that was listed for Lauren, and asked her about what was going on. And just for the record, it is a publicly listed email. They are within their right to send an email sharing their feelings and their opinions. It's not a very long email, so I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys so that everyone can be on the same page and have full clarity of the situation. Good morning, Lauren. I'm reaching out to you to see if you have any further comments on being caught interacting with extremist right content and hateful anti-trans posts as well. I have several people reaching out to me stating they have been blocked just for simply asking for an explanation. With a big platform, it is your duty to lead with an honest approach, and many people feel like that isn't what's happening. If you have those beliefs, that is shameful, but you do you. However, backing something you don't believe in is very harmful for so many. Conservative Anthony is known to hate the gay community. He condemns the community for many reasons. If that is truly what you want to back and believe in, you need to be honest and upfront. People make mistakes, but only guilty people will try to hide and dodge the real questions. Silencing people is a horrific thing to do. I'm giving you the opportunity to clear the slate before more deep dives are released with even more proof of these issues. I just want to share really quick that this person has never posted about Lauren. She's never posted deep dives. She's never posted any commentary. She's never posted anything publicly about Lauren ever. This was her just stating the inevitable fact that if she doesn't come out and address it, people are going to continue to make content about the situation. Again, as someone who has been hated for their sexual orientation, I'm speaking for the group as a whole. We can keep blocking people and dodging comments, or we can be a grown-up and talk about these things head on. The ball is in your court. Just please be honest. You have hurt so many, and silencing the majority will not fly. Again, if you have those beliefs, don't hide behind them, own them. Your actions got you here. One last thing, since you're a mortician, I highly recommend you look up the autopsies for Kyle Rittenhouse's victims. He shot those men in the back as they ran away. They were protesters running away from a child with an assault rifle. He illegally carried that assault rifle across state lines, which makes it obvious that he had intent to harm people. Again, Kyle had the intention to hurt a certain group of people. He was so full of hate that he showed up with an assault rifle and slaughtered people. Not sure if that's a person you want to back. I am only putting that part in this email just in case you have not been educated on that certain situation. We will not let you continue to exploit the gay community for views and likes. If we are not welcome in your world, then make that known. Again, none of us are being mean. We just want an open door discussion. Removing our genuine questions and leaving up your followers' hateful anti-gay comments is an atrocity. Have a good day. Thank you.
Replied to their email, she sent them a cease and desist, all in hopes that this person would hire a lawyer and it would be settled and I wouldn't have to do a thing about it. Then another girl named Kitty, who also makes...
Do you know how many emails and messages I've gotten from supporters saying, hey, I follow you on YouTube and I saw this video and this is how I feel about it, or this is my opinion about it, or this is my life experience, and I either acknowledge it or read it and take it into consideration for future content. I could not imagine receiving an email like the one that was just read out loud by Becca and getting an attorney to send that person a C&D when all they were doing is sharing their opinion, just like Lauren shares hers. The problem with Lauren's opinion is that she is spreading dangerous messages about people like Jamie Grayson, and that is why all of this started. And now she's doing it to Kitty. But let's keep going.
Content on this app, emailed my lawyer Jeanette directly to Jeanette. Nothing came to me, right to the lawyer, and she tried to blackmail my lawyer. Kitty made it clear in the email that
if you're going to get on video and say that somebody is trying to blackmail or somebody initiated communication with your lawyer and all of this kind of stuff, you need to be showing proof for that, because that is just wild to come out and say, oh, well, this person's blackmailing and this person, as we'll hear in a minute, she thinks that Kitty is demonic and participating in demonic activities. And all of this kind of stuff. In this entire video, Lauren does not show one ounce of proof, one receipt, no nothing to back up what she is telling her followers. And they're just eating it up with a spoon.
she was working with the first girl to extort and blackmail me together. They just thought they were being sneaky or something by sending it from that first original email. That small
blackmail had nothing to do with from what I have seen, that original supporter of the email that Becca read out loud, and what Kitty had to say was simply their opinions on Lauren, of things that Lauren has done publicly, participating in, hateful messages sent towards people like Jamie Grayson and people in the LGBTQI plus communities, people who, you know, Lauren disagrees with people, you know, being trans. Like, there's all kinds of things that Lauren has participated in publicly. People had their opinions about what she has done publicly. They shared those opinions, and instead of just, you know, ignoring them and realizing, hey, I'm a public figure and that's just the way this is going to go, she wanted to get lawyers involved. She wanted to do wellness checks, and she wanted to be the in all of this, and it's wild to me.
Creator, whoever that is, that I can't say. My lawyer never once said that they would be facing jail time over not giving me a public apology. That is a false narrative being spread. Kitty purposefully made a video and put it.
I'll insert the clip here of where Becca goes over what Jeanette said to this person and why that was even said. But again, Lauren wants everything to be on her narrative, her schedule, and she is the in all of this. I cannot, like, sometimes I see these creators just like crumple up any credibility that they had with their followers for something this minuscule and this stupid. And it's just crazy to me.
Obviously, that went into Lauren's email, and she had the option to delete the email or not respond to it or whatever. But instead, she filed a cease and desist that was indeed filled with threats of jail time and fines of $250,000. I'll show you. So this is the beginning of the cease and desist. I find it very interesting that Jeanette calls herself a federal civil attorney when she is, in fact, an IP attorney. But these are all the things that she was accused of for simply this email. Again, this person has not ever talked about Lauren publicly or posted publicly about her. They went through each individual law that was broken by sending this email, which was harassment and stalking, and she was threatened with up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. She was also demanded to make a public apology to Lauren, recanting all the false information and overall false narrative that you have posted and organized others to post. Again, this person has never posted about Lauren. Jeanette then said, you have 72 hours from the date of this email to comply with the demands above, answer the questions asked, and issue your public apology. My client expects immediate and unequivocal compliance. The ball has been directly placed back in your court. I recommend you take the ball to a few different types of attorneys' offices and seek legal counsel. And then she basically ends it with saying, unless this person complies with all of these demands, they will seek to charge them with all of the charges listed above. So yes, she was threatened. If she did not make a public apology, she would be charged with harassment, stalking, and all of these things. Lauren and Jeanette are now aware that there are 911 calls that have been recorded that will inevitably be made public, and they were trying to get ahead of it, because once these calls come out and people hear what Jeanette and Lauren were saying about Bunny to the police, it was a choice. It was a choice. It was a clear choice that they made, and it's very, very unfortunate. Out of everything I've uncovered, the calls have disturbed me the most, so I definitely understand why they're feeling a little nervous for those to be released.
Accountability goes so far, and some people just refuse to take any. And then, you know, we end up with people like Lauren here. And again, I'm not saying that she deserves to be harassed or stalked or any of those things, but neither does Kitty, and neither do other people who happen to not like Lauren. Nobody deserves it.
It out to hurt me and gather the masses against me. I had actually never watched any of her content until that video came out, but I had blocked her because she used to be in my comment section. I saw some questionable things and I blocked her. If it was really her intention to not hurt me, and just to clarify a few things, because her and I use similar calling cards with the Beetlejuice, then she would have just come out and said that in the video. She would have said, hey guys, this is what's happened. I want you to know that I am not Lauren, okay? But no, she started the video off like Lauren the Mortician is a TERF, which I am not. I am not. Everyone watching this, you only have one side of the story. You don't have both. And they are cherry picking what they want to tell.
If that is her opinion based on the content that Lauren was actively participating, engaging, and commenting on, and she was showing receipts, that's her right to create that video. again, if somebody is going to share an opinion backed up by receipts and proof on why they came to this conclusion, then that is their right to do so. Lauren here is making a ton of accusations, and again, we are more than halfway through this video and not one receipt has been shown.
People, and people are falling for it. Calls were made to the non-emergency number for a wellness check. The concerns came from watching lives and the posts that kept happening in the comments. She talks about needing to ingest blood to survive. She talks about eating organs. She talks about doing demonic things. Then add the blackmailing, the going off of her normal content. I mean, it's concerning. It was concerning. I do not think that anybody in their right and reasonable frame of mind would be making that type of content and continuing.
Okay, so this whole demonic idea and all of this kind of stuff that Lauren is saying here in this video, in this part of the video, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Kitty is somebody who is obviously, she has a different personality than what Lauren has. I saw one video where Kitty was wearing one of those makeup headbands that had little devil horns. Maybe that's what she's talking about, being demonic and it's super scary and all of that kind of stuff. All of this started because Lauren literally kicked the whole thing off. She literally kicked the whole thing off with the dangerous narrative that she created against Jamie Grayson. And like I said, if somebody is going to dig into who you're engaging with and who you're leaving comments for on Instagram, and if those are dangerous creators who are spreading a dangerous narrative, and people have an opinion of, hey, this is kind of weird, and this is dangerous towards a marginalized community, then they have every right to make that video. I just don't think that Lauren likes people who operate in the world of receipts. And, you know, obviously she hasn't gotten the message, but if you're going to create a video like this and you want people to believe you, then why don't you show everything that you have to back up this timeline that you want your followers to believe? Because some believe it with no receipts, but a lot of people are here in the comments, show the emails, screw the I can't talk about it BS, show the proof from both sides. This sounds like a lot of blaming. You don't get to choose what's rational to somebody. You did something shitty, so say so. It is not for you to call in a wellness check on somebody else on the internet because they make content that you might think is weird or not like something that you would make. I cannot believe that Lauren the Mortician sat there and weaponized the police against another creator simply because that creator decided to come out and say, hey, this is the conclusion I came to. This is why I came to said conclusion, and I'm going to make a video about it and have a discussion with my followers because this is an opinion that I have come to, and here is the receipt to back it up.
This spiral. Calling for a wellness check was not meant to be a swatting. No one called 911. I was genuinely concerned because of her unhinged posts and her actions. I have seen what happens, okay? I've seen when people lose it. I've seen the aftermath of it. I've seen what unaliving oneself looks like, and not 100% saying she was going to do that, but this was not rational behavior from someone of sound mind. This really did come from a place of concern because I thought she was going to do something to herself or to somebody else. Nothing about what she has been talking about is rational behaviors. This will be my only time addressing this on social media. This is my truth, my story. If you don't agree with it, if you don't believe me, you can unfollow me or block me, but leave me alone. I do not know how another creator on this app can call themselves a TikTok journalist when all they do is post one side of the story, just one, in an effort to defame another creator on this app. This is not a joke. This is my life, my real life.
I just don't appreciate the misrepresentation that she's doing to Kitty's content. I feel like she's really building it up to her followers as if Kitty is some kind of weirdo, unhinged person who might snap at any minute. And, oh, I was scared. I was worried for her. In my opinion, you know, Lauren has shown not a single receipt. She has weaponized the police against a person who she has deemed as an enemy simply for not liking Lauren and sharing her opinion, and then wants to be upset that things have gotten this serious. But Lauren has actively participated in not only creating this, allowing it to snowball, but then also lying and misleading and completely misrepresenting what has actually happened and still not showing any receipts. If you want to see receipts, you have to go to other creators to see the actual receipts. Because if you only listen to Lauren and you believe everything she says, then, you know, you're doomed. And the other thing I will say is, I don't know if she's sitting in front of her house for this video, but I know that there are not a whole lot of houses that are bright turquoise with a white window with white blinds. And if I was that worried about my safety, I damn sure wouldn't be sitting on my front porch or my back porch filming a video for TikTok when I am literally actively being stalked. I would think that I would not be filming outside of my home. Just saying.
And when you make content calling someone like a turf home, all of these really hurtful things, there are real life.
Just like Lauren is sharing one side of this story, and she is technically defaming other parties involved because she is literally misrepresenting what the truth is, and she is not showing an ounce of proof because the proof would prove that she is being untruthful.
Consequences for doing that. If you take my images to defame me, to spread malicious lies about me, then I have the right to come after you to get that content taken down. You have the right to free speech. You can talk about how you hate my hair, you think I'm fat, anything like that. But you don't have the right to take my content and use it to lie about me, while making a profit off of my face, my image, my everything. You don't get to make a profit off of my shit. Every day, like clockwork, you all are making new videos about me. There's some new information that I didn't even...
Yes, but Lauren, you are a public figure and you also use other creators' content to prove a point that you want to make every single day on this app. You stitch other creators' content. You use other creators' images to share your opinion and how you feel about their content. So when Kitty did that to you, you get your weird lawyer involved and all of this shit's the fan. But yet you do the same exact thing by sharing your opinion on somebody else's content and you make money off of it, but nobody is allowed to make money off of using your face. What on earth, like what kind of parallel universe are we even existing in? This is almost over. Thank God. Let's finish it out.
Now all of a sudden is getting spread through the internet. I am literally being stalked. I am being watched. Everything I do. If you are going to take my images to further your social media career with lies, then I have the right to come after that content and get it taken down. Understand that not everybody is going to like me. That's okay. But when you are spreading lies that then lead to death threats on not only my life, but my children's life, that I cannot.
By the way, the whole idea of her, you know, real name and stuff being put out there, she's the one that put her license up. So her putting her license up is what put her full legal name out there. And once people had her full legal name, they obviously, you know, did searches and did what they do, which I don't agree with that part of it. But like I said, I also don't agree with that being done to any other creator. I don't believe in any creator being bullied, harassed, stalked, or threatened. I take that very seriously. And, at the same time, I can also stand on the side of Lauren the Mortician is completely misrepresenting, misleading, and lying to her followers while crying and wanting people to feel bad for her. And I think it's a crock of shit. But she doesn't understand how the copyright system works. She doesn't understand what harassment is. She doesn't understand how to be accountable and transparent with her followers. And I think that she has thrown her her reputation and her trust with a lot of people directly in the trash bin by being an online bully to other creators who were simply critiquing her content. If you like transphobic content or homophobic content, and then you say that you're not transphobic or homophobic, people are going to have questions about that. It doesn't make sense. The math isn't mathing. It's not reconciling for a lot of people, and they are allowed to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense, and this is how I feel about it. You critique other people's content and you say, hey, this parent did XYZ, this is their face, this is their channel name, sometimes, not all the time. But you use their content and you say, like, this parent could have literally killed their child, and this is a huge safety risk, and this is my opinion, and this is why I think that it's reckless and dangerous for the children involved. That is what built your entire presence on social media. It's made you a ton of money, and now you want to cry when somebody takes your content and things that you have participated in and they say, hey, this is really reckless and not cool, and this is how I feel about it. And you're wanting to say, oh, nobody gets to use my face. Girl, get over it. Either way, this is a hot mess. There have been a lot of moving pieces and a lot happening, and I felt like this was, in all fairness, let's listen to her side and see what she had to say. But she had a whole lot to say and not a single receipt to back up what she was trying to portray to her audience. So that's where we are with the Lauren the Mortician disaster. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.